Hello, I'm Jessica, your Up North agent. I'm a licensed realtor in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I'm a real estate investor and an Up North enthusiast. Today we're going to talk about short-term rentals or vacation rentals on or off lake property. In the state of Wisconsin and Minnesota, we have thousands and thousands of lakes. Minnesota, the state of 10,000 lakes. Wisconsin, the state of 15,000 lakes. That's a fact. Not a lot of people know that Wisconsin actually has more lakes than Minnesota. Well, some would argue that they also call a pond a lake, but here nor there. When you think about a vacation rental or a short-term rental in these two states or in the Midwest, one would anticipate that you have to have a vacation rental on a lake. When I started looking for vacation rentals, it was in a seller's market like we're in now, and it was really hard to come across property in general, let alone that property that was on a lake. And if you did find property that was on a lake, it was going to be crazy expensive. Not only the upfront costs of the property itself, but taxes and everything else. And if you're considering your first vacation rental, that's a pretty big deal. You don't know if it's going to be profitable. You don't know how much overhead there's going to be. And so how much you're going to spend on a property is a really big darn deal. Again, I assumed that you would have to be on a lake for people to want to rent your place. I even called a friend of mine that has a lot of vacation rentals in southern Florida and asked him, do you think that I have to buy a vacation rental that's on a lake? And he said, absolutely. If I'm going to be in rural Wisconsin or up north Minnesota, I'm going to want to be near the water. So we almost didn't purchase our first vacation rental until we thought, you know what, being that the market is in the situation that it's in, we're going to need to try it. We bought our first property. It was not on water. It was on acreage, and I'll tell you more specifically about the features of that in just a minute. So it did have some features, but it was not on water. There were lakes within driving distance, but no specific access. We purchased the property in the middle of the summer, and we turned it quite quickly to be able to get it up onto VRBO and Airbnb before the 4th of July holiday weekend. We were able to put that property on the rental platforms on, say it was June 30th. We had rented the July 4th weekend within seconds. And I thought, well, yeah, of course, right? Beginner's luck, and it happens to be 4th of July. Within 48 hours, we had the month of July completely booked. Within 4 days, we had the summer completely booked. Not only were we at a 100% booked, zero vacancy rate, we were getting amazing reviews from our visitors. Everyone that came to see us gave us 5 stars based upon the other amenities in which we offered. We paid attention to all of the other details that we learned doing our research on vacation rentals, which we'll talk more about in other episodes. But we made sure it was clean. We made sure that we had special touches, that it was well decorated, that it was accommodating to our guests, that the kitchen had all of those basic needs met. And every single one of our guests raved about our property. And not one throughout our entire first summer mentioned that they were only giving the property a certain amount of stars because it wasn't on a lake. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even mentioned. So we have this property, again, on a little bit of land, which that helps. It's on 3 acres, so that is one of the amenities in which we can offer is quiet, serenity, privacy, and all of that, of course, is boasted in our listing. But we offered this property in the middle of Northwestern Wisconsin. And I was thinking to myself is if they weren't coming for the lake and if they weren't coming to put a canoe in the water, what in the heck are they coming to small town Wisconsin for? And it was just that. That's exactly why they were coming. 90% of our visitors throughout our first summer were there because they just wanted to get away. They didn't want to be at a destination vacation spot. They didn't want to be at a large resort. They didn't want to, at that point, being that we were in the pandemic, hopefully someday we can say that we're no longer in that, that they didn't want to be in highly congested areas or on a plane, so on and so forth. So they were coming just for what we were offering, which was serenity in the middle of Northwestern Wisconsin. The other 10% of our renters, oddly, and I believe that this will grow as we continue to get repeat guests, is we're coming for visiting family. They had family in the area. They grew up in the area and they wanted to come back and see where they grew up. We had some folks that were coming to attend a wedding. We had a whole week booked out over Christmas that some people that flew in that wanted to spend Christmas with their family in a nice, quiet, peaceful place. So you'll really be surprised on why people are coming to see or coming to your vacation property. And I would highly recommend that you just go ahead and purchase that investment property, find something that makes sense for your budget, and need not worry about it having something like lake property or a pool or a hot tub and all of those things that you think a vacation rental would need to have for it to be booked out and for people to enjoy their stay. What do you think about that? In the comments below, I would love to hear from you on what you think is important in a vacation rental, and maybe what was the reason that you booked your last one. If you would like to know more about investing in the state of Minnesota or Wisconsin, if you'd like to get your first vacation rental, or even if you want to buy or sell a home, I would love to help. You can look in the show notes to find my contact information. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next episode.